Yeah, and I mean, one difference that I did notice, which should be pointed out, there were a lot of polls conducted after this that basically asked to what extent you support the impeachment of Donald Trump, or basically the House pursuing impeachment. And there was actually some polls. I know there was, I think a CNN did one. I think ABC actually did one, which pretty, moderate, unbiased network. And some of these polls have it right around 50 or above 50 with people who are in support of this, which is different from the prior impeachment attempts. I feel like many people saw it as kind of a reach before, like, the Democrats are looking to find anything to pursue this impeachment. And, with this, it is a little more unique and different because, for one, they actually got the dirt they were looking for this time. The Russiagate went on forever, and how much they found, how much they didn't find, who knows, but it wasn't anything significant, obviously, or we'd be hearing about it.
Or concrete. Yeah.
Right. So I think it's interesting to look at that, and the fact that, maybe the fact that they actually got something this time could be the reason that it's more supported than before.
Yeah.
But that's just the transcript itself, what we're talking about, and that, like I said, was a little unexciting compared to how it was kind of hyped up in the media. But we do need to talk about the whistleblower. So what?
History.
Yeah, a lot of history there. What is your initial reaction on this whistleblower, as far as, kind of what needs to be done and how it should be treated, I guess?
It's difficult because obviously we don't have all the information that we need to make, I guess, an assumption or a decision on how you feel about this. But in the past, obviously, America has treated whistleblowers, in the recent past, has treated whistleblowers not too kindly, especially 100%. Under, obviously, the famous ones with WikiLeaks, Manning, Assange, and then Snowden with the CIA reports, that basically they fled in fear of being extradited. And I'm curious to see, because I'm not going to make any assumptions about this whistleblower, but I'm curious to see the outcome of this, because I'd like to see, A, how this administration handles a whistleblower compared to how the others were handled under a different administration, and B, if any of the policies or, I guess, laws regarding whistleblowing of private and secure information change or are loopholed or anything like that, because that would be an interesting turn to this story if the whistleblower in this situation had a different outcome from the last fairly famous whistleblowers in this country.
No, definitely. And it will be interesting because the whistleblower, if you haven't heard, is said to testify.
Yeah. He
or she is going to come out and, tell presumably how they got the information, where they got it from. And my initial, I guess, prediction on this is I think it's actually going to be someone out of the CIA or associated with the CIA, because if you look at the differences between the previous whistleblowers and this one comment that basically everyone has with this whistleblower is they pretty much to a T followed the process you have to if you're going to be the whistleblower.
Yeah.
Everything they did was legally within bounds, and so that makes me think it's definitely a person that kind of knows what they're doing in regards to the law and
background
whatnot.
in government, background and all that.
Yeah, and like you said, they should be protected. I think it's important to have that there. Obviously there's information within a government that may need to be kept secret or kept within the top officials, because for safety reasons. Like, for example, let's say the nuclear codes. You can't just share those with everyone, or you're putting
that's the greater good of America.
In a bad place. But when you look at these past whistleblowers, like Mommer was saying, Snowden, Assange, and Manning.
Snowden did it with the greater good of America in mind.
Yeah,
really.
And I mean, for the most part, Manning did as well, and for the most part, so did Assange. We're talking about exposing war crimes, and in Snowden's case, exposing invasion of privacy of American citizens, what the government was doing there. And then, obviously there was a whole thing with Chelsea Manning, and she got arrested for it.
Yeah.
So we'll see where all this goes, but it definitely needs to be protection. I know Trump made a comment about how, if it was treated like the old days, spies and treason were handled a little differently, which that's just a ridiculous comment. This isn't spying or treason. Like, you did mess up, but to the extent of how bad it was, you still messed up. And that's not to be ignored, but I don't know. I just think for now, we need to let this play out a little bit more and get more evidence on this.
A lot of information that can still come out.
Yeah, and who knows, what the whistleblower has to say, and
I mean, I actually saw something that I have it up, that Trump seems he's entitled to talk to the whistleblower, his administration, and kind of says, what if the whistleblower has all secondhand information? And as outlandish as some claims as he makes, we don't even know yet if the whistleblower, where this information came from, if they got it from outside the United States, like all that stuff. So there's still a lot of things that need to be cleared up in this story.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like we kind of said before, this needs to be something that's protected. The idea of a whistleblower is to give someone the opportunity to remain anonymous when acting in, like,
the best interest of the country,
the greater good of the people. And it's important in all administrations. Obviously, the people we brought up in the past, they did some things under the Obama administration, and they were not treated fairly at all.
No.
So this is not a partisan comment. This is, no matter who's in office, this needs to be treated similarly.
This is a systemic thing.
I understand that, when you're in the position of power, if you act corruptly, it's, the last thing you want to see is information coming out against your administration for acting in the wrong way.
Yeah.
But, if it gets exposed,
it's democracy.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Tough shake.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where that whole situation stands right